I Remember by Jessica Dollerson Brown. Chapter 1: The Musician's Candy Shop. Guitar Center was a popular hangout for local musicians. It was very common to see musicians wandering from room to room for hours, like a kid in a candy shop, trying out all the assorted flavors, from guitars to keyboards, from Fender to Yamaha. One day, my best friend called me while visiting the store with her musician boyfriend. Hello, I said. She was barely above a whisper. She said, I have something to tell you. I inquired with great anticipation because I knew she had some hot tea. Where are you? Why are you whispering? What's up? Tell me. She replied, I can't talk right now, but I will call you later. She called me back as promised. Still excited, she said, good. In our southern slang, you will never guess who we saw at the Guitar Center. I replied with much excitement, who? She said, Pastor Brown's son. I think his name is KP or KB. I replied, a little disappointed, oh, okay. She continued as if not to notice my sour reply. He can sing, he plays several instruments, and he is so down to earth. He speaks so intelligently. I think you guys would really hit it off. Thinking quietly to myself while rolling my eyes, oh no, we won't. But I just smiled as if she could see me and continued to listen. She said, and guess what? He is coming to our church next Monday for a one-night revival, something called the Gospel Caravan. The Gospel Caravan? This should be interesting. My best friend continued to go on and on about how she couldn't wait for me to meet this guy. I continued to hold the phone, but my heart was disengaged. Monday evening swiftly arrived, and it's time for the revival. Our church was a Pentecostal storefront church where you are guaranteed a foot-stomping good time, but you better get there early because seating is limited. I walked in with my head down and sat in the back so I could scan the room for any unfamiliar faces. A little disappointed and relieved when I didn't see anyone new. I began to think that maybe he wasn't going to show. But as I would later discover, it was a custom for KP to be fashionably late. Service had begun, and I must have had my head down for just a moment, it seemed, when I looked up and there he was. I knew it was him because he was sliding in under the keyboard as the other musician yielded the floor. He was dressed as a common street thug, a bad boy of sorts, with jeans and a t-shirt. I was slightly confused because he's the preacher's son, right? Where was his suit and tie? As I continued to look onward as judge and jury, I noticed an accessory on his side. A petite, long-lashed little boy sat calmly, quietly, and patiently next to him. My judgmental heart began to soften as I thought to myself, is that his son? I tried not to stare, but I couldn't help but notice how happy the little boy seemed to be while sitting in that chair next to him. I didn't remember much about the service because I was in my own world of dread. I knew that at the end of service, my best friend would try to introduce me to this guy. Unfortunately, I rode to church with her, so I couldn't avoid it. The sanctuary was clearing out. Here comes my best friend. She says, without hesitation, KB, this is Jessica. Jessica, this is KB. He shook my hand and smiled. I said nervously, KB? I thought they said your name was KP. He said with a smooth voice, no, it's KB, Kervin Brown. Well, it's nice to meet you, Kervin Brown. Who is this little fellow? This is my son, he said. Well, he surely is cute with those long lashes, I said. My best friend, the other musician, and KB continued with small talk as I proceeded to try to vanish. Finally, the chatter ceased, and we all said good night.
I remember when I first saw you, I knew you were the one for me. Had to get your number so that I could call you. Wanted to know the possibilities of becoming someone special in your life. See, I was mesmerized by your beautiful smile. Maybe you and I could hang out. Maybe get together and just kick it sometime. Had no idea it would be like this right here, baby, we so tight. So glad we chose each other that night to be with one another for life. I